the man from down under with a little thunder, WWE and Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, Bushwhacker Luke. I hear something else comes from down under too. The Wrestling with Figs podcast with my mates Chris and James. You gotta tune into this great podcast because Chris and James will give you all the inside info. Whoa! Yay!
Welcome, everybody, to the 34th episode of the Wrestling with Figs podcast. I am your host, Chris, man, Maddock. I'll give myself the title of Man this week. Joining me over on the East Coast, the two Stooges, James Thomas and Brad Perryman. How are we, boys?
Good, mate. Good.
Very well, Christopher. The man. The man.
You need a lift, mate. You need a lift. You're a bit flat there. Just seem too happy, just calm. We've got a big show coming up. And I was thinking of big shows before this. What were big shows of the 90s, mate? What was a big show for you, James?
As in what? Wrestling show or TV show?
Any show that was something you had to watch as a sort of middle childhood sort of age.
Oh, you know what? I was only talking about this the other day. The Wonder Years. Remember that show?
Wonder Years. I've got the box set. Fantastic show.
Is there a box set? No way.
Hard to get the box set because the music licenses were a big problem when they re-released the boxes. So,
wow.
Cost me a lot of money. I imported it from the US. So about $200.
Wow.
What about you, Brad? What was a must-watch show? Probably Pokemon for you, wasn't it, Brad?
No, look, I did enjoy a bit of Pokemon in the day, but I think most of my growing up was just The Simpsons, watching that after school at night.
Simpsons was always that show that you'd go to school the next day, and if you didn't watch it, then everyone would be talking about it. For me, nothing gets me more excited than seeing this guy, Mike Whitney, doing a bit of Who Dares Wins. Remember Who Dares Wins, Jamesy?
I remember his sidekick, whatever her name was. She was absolutely gorgeous.
Tanya Zayeda. Yes, fantastic, Tanya. It was a great show where if you can jump into this pile of crap, I'll give you $50.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, what a great show. Hey, another huge week of releases, but I just thought I'd share with you before the start of the show my week. Just check out where I've been, mate. This is my this is just Paradise, little island off Western Australia called Rottnest, named by William de Vlaming because he thought that the quokkas, which are the little animals over there, were rats, so he called it Rat's Nest. Look at that beach there. Do you know where I am from this picture? I'm at the pub, and that the group of kids on the sand are my kids playing while we're at the pub drinking. It was great. And just look at this one, mate. Look at that paradise. Beautiful beach, no people, and a gimmick the WWE haven't done yet is the quokka.
Quokka. Do they smile at you, mate?
They don't smile at me. They just give me a frown, but they smile at everybody else.
I'm just glad they weren't selfies on the beach. That's all.
Oh, man, I could take a few selfies. You should see the ones at the nude beach, Brad. You'll love those.
I'll pass.
Just need a bigger camera. We might start off with something that Brad had shared with our little pod chat. And then I just saw that Michael Jordan posted the same picture on our Figs Down Under group. What do you reckon about this one? The Rush Collectibles, Zombo the Sailor, fourth figure in the Monster Masters line.
It's a sellout.
Do you reckon this is a bit of a funny one from Rush Collectibles?
Yeah, I would assume. Obviously, they're competition, right? They're obviously competitors.
100%.
I'm going to guess they probably know Zombie.
Yeah,
and they're just having a dig.
I'm pretty sure the Rush guys were either on the Major Wrestling Figure Pod recently or communicated with them. So it's a small world over there. I'm pretty sure they'd all know each other. Pretty funny though, and the best part about that is it actually looks like a zombie figure.
Yeah. Where are Rush based? Are they American?
It's got to be US, yeah.
Yeah, I think they are.
Okay.
Based on the lineup that they've released, I would say it's definitely a thing. We've got Luke Young here saying Zombo is the centerpiece to any real collection. Definitely agree. And g'day, Rocco. I can see you're tuning in as well.
Hey, this just in, guys. Sorry, this just in. Actually, 9 hours ago, according to our Instagram. Hills and Faces Series 2 pre-orders begin October 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There you go.
How soon's that?
I think it's next Thursday, so Friday our time.
Beauty.
8 p.m. Yeah, 8 p.m. over there. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, but what's that pre-order for delivery in 3 years' time, or?
Well, has anyone got a Jeff Jarrett yet?
No, I haven't got any emails yet, but I'm really looking forward to getting that. So in Series 2, just to refresh your memory, is Andre the Giant, King Kong Bunny, which I want to get, Nick Gage, Bruiser, Brody, Raven, and Kevin Sullivan.
Hey, James, why are you talking about it? There it is, the Andre.
That's great.
On the red card.
That photo behind is horrible, though. It's just got
the photo behind is horrible. I agree. It's the worst.
I don't want to bag it because it's our good mate John Lucas Reyes that put that together. So obviously, Zombie's giving him that head. It's the head. The body's great. It's just the head.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the head either. I reckon it's there's something about his face. It just doesn't quite look.
Yeah,
right.
But
it doesn't quite
put that aside. Look at the figure. The figure is sensational.
Yeah,
the mutton chops on it as well is great.
Definitely like the red card. So I like the fact they're changing the color of the card for the second wave.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, how about we get into?
I feel like for Halloween for that, Chris, you could definitely dress up as Andre with the mutton chops.
Mate, I can't grow a beard. If I might try to. By the next one, you know what? If what happens, in Brad, as James will tell you, mate, when you're a married man, is you get a lot of feedback from your significant other. So my wife has already said to me, "No beards." Like she just, no, I'm not cool. Oh, so happy wife, happy life. Let's kick it off, mate. Community news.
News. Let's kick it off with a little bit of a housekeeping, team. Please subscribe to the Wrestling with Figs podcast and leave a positive 5-star review. Thank you to everyone that has already taken the 30 to 60 seconds to do so. It helps the pod get out there and help us reach more collectors down under. Figs Down Under community. It's a great community. Join us over at Figs Down Under Facebook group. It's private. We support one another, a great group of guys and girls, and we're all like-minded and share a passion for collecting. And I know
you might even get a steal in the what's for sale thread because I sold my second set of retros this week for cheaper than I paid for them.
Yeah, I saw that, and someone else sold the New Generation ring. Someone sold the ring for $250, which I thought was that's a good investment, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Actually, whilst we're talking about Figs Down Under community, those who are tuning in tonight and listening around the world, our good friend Steve Campbell, we're going to create a different announcement thread, and it's basically listing all the great stores nationwide. So we often get our members traveling interstate, and they always reach out and ask where a decent store is. So watch this space, guys. There'll be a list, and Steve will manage that list, and he'll update it because he travels the country all year round. So he's a beard of knowledge, as we like to call him.
And we might also include in that list toy fairs as well. So if there's a toy fair coming up, people can post it in that thread. As there was the Nexus over here just the other day, and a few of our members were there. Unfortunately, I was relaxing on the beach at Rocknest, so very difficult.
There you go. Well, let's get into a little bit of figure news, guys. Not a huge amount to report on from my end, but Bradley, how about you kick off with some of the Mattels?
Yeah, Chris, hit it. What we got? All right, here we go. Elite Greatest Hits. It's basically the remake. There's two that I didn't picture in this, but I mean, we got a remake of Rey Mysterio from Elite.24, Undertaker from Elite 8. We got Bam Bam Bigelow from Legend Series 5, Rikishi Hall of Champions. Then there's also The Rock that's not pictured from the Best of Attitude era with his $500 whatever shirt. And then we got Jake the Snake. That's not there as well from Flashback Series 3.
How do you feel about re-releases?
If you missed them, okay, no worries. But if you're really sentimental with how much you paid for it originally, you're probably going to be kicking yourself over it.
Yeah, the Brocken
I don't know how many
HBK.
times.
You go, James.
I don't know how many times I've seen that Bam Bam release. How many times has that actual Bam Bam been released? 3?
Yeah, 3 versions.
That's got to be the third time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In elite form?
Yeah.
Oh,
He was in Legend Series 3 or 4.
So that Series 5, that version, that's the only one I could find of it.
Legends? So it must be Series 5 then. I bought that one. I bought that one, and it has been released. Probably something similar, maybe different colors. But come on.
Yes, and they only just released the ECW Bam Bam as well not that long ago.
Yeah,
I'm just happy that Rikishi got released because I never got him originally. So there he is. There.
Nice. So you've already got your set, have you, Brad?
I haven't got the set. I just got him for starters. I'm just finding what I can cheap on eBay and just going from there.
He's a good figure.
My frustration is that they seem to re-release figures that I don't want. Like, I wish they would look at Legends. I'd love an Arcane. I'd love a Rick Martel. Why are we going to these ones? Like, I don't want to have to spend $400 for a Rick Martel Legends figure when I could get it for $30 as a re-release. But it would completely kill the investing side of figures. As it did with the Brock and HBK, I was going to say before, the Ultimates, they were in short supply, and then they re-released them. And now that what was selling for $200 6 months ago is now selling for $40. So
the real good thing about these being re-releases is they've got the new articulation with elbows and knee joints as well. So that's why I feel like I need the Ray, because I've already got that Ray, but extra hands as well. It feels like a different figure to me.
Oh, let's have a look at the next release. It is the All Elite release, Brad.
AEW and Unmatched Series 5. So we've got Red Velvet, Kenny Omega, Bryan Danielson, who has a Chase. This is his first AEW figure. Then we got Sammy Guevara, Sean Spears, and then we got Darby Allin as a LJN style figure.
Which looks cool.
And, I've got the Cody LJN figure. It's pretty cool. I like it. So
I've got that too, and obviously I'm going to get the Darby Allin for my collection.
And the ice cream pop here, Brad.
So CM Punk, the first dance AEW, I think it's a ringside exclusive figure. It was from his return to wrestling in AEW, where he gave away the ice cream bars after his first day back at work, pretty much. So the good thing about this is obviously it's not his first figure, but it recreates that moment. But apparently the box is shaped like an ice cream bar, so it doesn't actually have a flat bottom for it to stand up if you're a mint on card displayer.
Yeah, I think
very good.
Those mint on card people, they're going to be going away soon because there's no future of plastic.
Yep.
Well, I've noticed that. Yes, I've noticed that. Just quickly, I've noticed that Big W or the Marvel Legends that have got no plastic.
I don't like
it looks. It's so weird. It's so weird seeing them on the shelf. Anyway, it's good for the environment.
But it's good for the environment. There's no plastic window, but yet there's a plastic figure in the box.
Yeah, it could be recycled plastic. Who knows?
And go 2 aisles over, and there's 3 tons of Lego that's going to end up in the ocean. So
landfill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, better in the ocean than under Dad's feet. Hey, have you ever stood on Lego?
Definitely. Lego.
Far out. Over to me. So we've shared the mint on card Andre the Giant from Heels and Faces. Recently, he just shared the Danhausen production figure. That looks incredible.
Oh, I like
Not
it.
to me, but bloody looks sensational. Really, I like the accessories. I've never seen this fellow wrestle. I've only seen him glimpses of him on some of the major pod videos, but as a figure and as a likeness, that's incredible. So kudos. Another thing I found online was Focko from Focko. They make the WWE.
Just keep it PG, mate.
The bobbleheads. Look, this is Big John Studd, limited edition of 360. What do you think they've got wrong there? Look,
He's
some
not
of the
fat
bobbleheads
enough, and he's not
he's not
handsome.
big
He's
enough.
too handsome.
Yeah. There's just he doesn't look right. But the
No.
concept, the ring, I love the concept. Looks really, really good. But this is I think this is a epic fail from Focko.
They're quite pricey, those bobbleheads, aren't they?
I
I
don't
think
know.
about $39, I reckon, $39 US. I had a question from the Matt Cardona of Wrestling Figure Collectors, Michael Jordan. How does the Cody LJN feel compared to the original LJNs? It's much harder. So the original LJNs are sort of that softer rubber that have a little bit of give. The Cody is just like one solid piece; it doesn't move at all. But it feels pretty cool. Same sort of weight.
I was going to say very similar to the Jax Classics LJN style, pretty much. So the same feel. They're a bit tougher. I think the Jax ones are more flexible than the AEW ones. So,
and they're rubber?
Just while we're in the community news, I wanted to share this with you, James. I think what happens when we get to the community news is we always go through figures, and then sometimes you see something online. I think which is worth sharing. How good is this photo of? That was shared. I think it was shared by Lanny Poffo, the genius, Macho's brother, of Haku, Macho, the Anvil, and the guy in the middle. His name has escaped me, but he is a referee from the time. But just like, is there anything more iconically 80s than that picture?
look at the Macho Man. He's in great shape there.
The reason I wanted to show this picture is how much is Cardona starting to even look more like Macho?
Oh, I've said this for years.
Yeah.
If you look at Cardona right now with the beard and the intense face, he is really maybe he's just morphing into him.
Reincarnation.
Yeah.
And my other share is I want to share one more thing in community news, James, is for you. I went and took my son shopping the other day. I wanted to buy some new shoes. And we ended up at the Lego store. And I saw this and I thought, you need to get this, James. It is the Lego Back to the Future DeLorean. How cool is that?
Yeah, well, let me look at the price of it, $300. I'll let you in on a bit of a secret, which I'll share at Christmas time. Look, see what's above that. Did you notice what was above that DeLorean?
Ghostbusters.
The Ecto one, yep. And then there's a 1989 Batmobile, and then there's a Optimus Prime.
So are you getting the Lego versions, are you?
I think so. I've hinted for long enough to my wife. Let's see what happens.
Do you know what I'll get? I'll hint and hint and hint for that, and I'll end up getting some new socks.
Nice.
So, no, not good. Anything else for community news, boys?
That's it from me.
No, so it's a small community news, but we'll keep rolling and we'll head into Merch Perch.
Dude, I went down to the shops to pick up some fruit and veg. I couldn't help myself. Went down to the toy aisle. You never believe what I got. What you get? What you get? I got some figs. What you get? What you get? Found some figs.
Who wants to go first?
Oh, well, why don't I go first? I've had a pretty good week. Now, why don't you go first, James, because you've got the shortest of the Merch Perch, unless you're going to start freelancing on what you've got in your hands over there.
Yes. So I'll quickly just share. I picked up, I've added to my Shaquille O'Neal rookie card collection. So I've picked up the 1992 Stadium Club Shaquille O'Neal, PSA graded 9.
Cool card.
It still surprises me. Just some of Shaq's cards are really expensive, but ones like this, they're really cheap. And I just think one day they've got to go up. And I'm not buying it for investment purposes. Don't get me wrong. I'm keeping this because Shaq's my second favorite. But it surprises me how cheap they are, right? That's all I picked up this week. But what landed today, thanks to our good friend over in the States, Granville Nash, and I will do, while you guys are sharing, I'll do a live opening. I got the Mattel Retro Anvil and Anvil and Jimmy Neidhart. And what else arrived? Jimmy Hart. Sorry, Jimmy Neidhart. My God.
I wasn't going to
looking-
correct you. I was just going to see if you
This
realised.
is like watching one of Leachy's breaks in his footy cards when he doesn't pronounce the names right. It's driving me nuts.
Sorry, boys. And I've just shared earlier. I've got I'm 3 away from completing my Hasbro flip card collection, thanks to my good friend Brett Amos and Chris Maddock. And Brett Amos has sent me the whole collection of the market scene, 1989 market scene, and in that set is the Ultimate Warrior rookie card. So these will be getting sent to PSA sometime next year. So pretty happy with that.
Very
so while
nice.
you guys are talking, I'll do a live opening of these.
So I've had a pretty good week. Firstly, with the cards, picked up 2 boxes of Select Optimum 2022, which are footy cards. Then I decided I'd crack them all open, and these were my hits. Nothing very big, a few draft pick signature cards, but unfortunately nothing I really wanted. Already done some trades and turned them into the 2 probably rarest. Well, probably the Black Pavlich is the rarest of the lot there in the Dockers cards. But I know people want to see figs. I had a little win over on Leachy's page
Nice.
of the Masters of the Universe Wave 4 figures. I've already got them. So they are listed for sale at bargain basement price at the moment. Weren't sold in Australia, those ones. So if anyone wants them loose. The only problem was when they came, the rock's missing a few bits and pieces. The blue sort of lightning shimmer that click onto his wrist. So Leachy can't find them. And the rest of them are all right, and they're ready to roll. They're all in very, very good condition. And what was my other? Oh, I had a pretty exciting news, James. Look at this guy. Look at this handsome devil with his big win down at the bottle shop. Look at the sock tan. That's what happens when you teach outside. You get great sock tan. And I won the raffle at the bottle shop. What a big week. 2 free bottles of wine and some chockies for just being a regular alcoholic down there. So the amount of people who have messaged me who saw that photo on the local page and said, you are drinking way too much when you're winning prizes down there. I said, thanks very much. So, no, very good. And that's me. That's my merch perch. Bradley.
Well, I wasn't a big spender this week. I got a few in. So I realized I've actually got this Ultimate twice now, so I might have to sell one of them. But I'm catching up with a few elites that I'm missing. Got a few card packs that one was on sale and thought I'd crack it, and I ended up pulling an auto of Brock Lesnar.
Beautiful, great auto.
It's not numbered, which kind of disappointing. It is also a sticker auto, kind of disappointing, but still something cool to add to the collection. I'm really getting into cards lately, so I'll be buying whatever I can find cheap.
Now, Bradley, you're selling them Mr. T, are you?
So what was that?
You selling the Mr. T?
I might be. I have to confirm that I have it already.
Let me know if you do decide to sell, because that's one I had on my radar to go with the Hulk. So I'm in no rush.
I'm definitely selling it.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk later on, because I'm pretty keen.
Top dollar, Bradley. Top dollar.
Well, you have to give me your best price, mate. You get FDU discount. I'll enter code Chief Executive Officer. Now, members merch perch.
Just quickly, can I do a quick review on these?
Yeah.
Anvil, an amazing figure from the Mattel Retro line. What a beautiful figure. That God, when I look at this, I just wished that this come out in this attire back in the early 90s with the Hasbro. It just needed to come out. So bravo, Mattel. Really, really good. And Jimmy Hart got it right that time. I thought I wasn't going to like this figure. I thought I was just going to buy this because I needed it, and I thought he needed a Hasbro. The face isn't that bad in real life. Like, it's not perfect, but the action is spot on with the old megaphone. But that's that's a really, really good figure too. And it's probably a little bit too fat for him, but that's okay. Can live with that. So out of 10, I'll give these both. I'll give Anvil a 10. And Jimmy Hart, I would give a 8.5.
Did you get a Hitman as well, James?
No. We've already got. He was released in Hasbro. Just figures that didn't get a Hasbro.
I feel like that Jimmy Hart would look great next to his Hall of Fame elite. Same attire, same everything. I don't know, just the two similarities to it.
Hall of Fame elite underrated. Those whole set of Hall of Fame figures are underrated.
Yeah, that Macho Man is awesome.
Except, when Toymate first opened up here, they had a heap of the Hall of Fame figures. They had one series. They had the Hot Rod, Jimmy Hart, I think it was a Stone Cold or somebody else, and it was Macho. Macho was the other one. They had 4 of them, and they had about 50 of each, and they were selling for $20 each. Far out. Merch Purge. Now, James, do you want to go first with the signed Hogans?
Yes. So our good friend Rob Kerr, aka Australia's biggest Hulkamaniac, he picked up a couple of Ultimates. I'm not sure which ones they are. The Hollywood Hulk Hogan, whatever series that's from. I think it's just the ringside exclusive, And then
the ringside exclusive, and the other one is the Fan Takeover.
Yeah, brilliant. Both signed. Well done, Rob.
Hogan, not a cheap signer either.
No.
Like, insane. Bradley, who's yours, mate?
I picked Michael Jordan. So I'm not a big Masters of the Universe fan, but just his story behind this, where, he really wanted it. It was like it was when he was a kid. He got it to he got his mum to give it to him for his birthday. It's just the story behind it kind of, made me feel like, I kind of want to do the same thing with old figures that I've got as well. So,
I thought you know what I like about that? Do you remember the comic books that come with them, Chris, back in the day?
Yeah. They still come with them as well.
Yeah, but have you watched the Toys That Made Us He-Man documentary?
Yeah, mate, it's really good.
That's awesome. It is really, really good.
The whole lot of those are incredible. Even the toy ones I didn't really like. I found the Barbie one really interesting. We'd never buy Barbies, but not that I tell people, but just some of the information and like how it was the Mattel exec's wife who was like, we got to get something for girls. And really good show. Toys That Made Us. If you haven't seen it, both seasons are very good. I also chose Michael Jordan, and I chose him for the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast Bendies of Conrad Thompson. Now, firstly, that's not Akeem. So people, he gets confused with being Akeem quite a lot, Conrad. But the funniest thing, like with Conrad, is I don't know him very well. And then I watched the WWE Most Wanted Treasures, and to see his collection of Flair stuff, because he's married to Flair's daughter, he has got one of the best collections. And have you watched that show, Brad?
I've watched bits and pieces, but I haven't seen the episode on him, though.
So the episode on Ric Flair's black butterfly robe that he wore at the Royal Rumble in, spoiler alert, that he won in 93. Sorry if anyone was still waiting to watch that. The guy who had the robe was a real prick. And he offered it to them for like a certain price or a trade. And
like
then
what
price? He wanted the jungle robe, which is another Flair robe, and he wanted $40,000. So they agreed to the deal. He wouldn't meet with them face to face. He sent like an advocate to deal with them. The advocate meets and he gets him on the phone. He goes, no, he wants $80,000 now. So he kept moving the goalposts at every chance because he could just see that they would give whatever they wanted. But it was Conrad Thompson who was the one who kept saying, yep, whatever, we'll just pay it. I just want it. I don't care. So he must be bloody loaded.
It'd have to be.
But I don't know what he does. I don't know where his incomes come from, but good on him.
Is he a home broker, mortgage broker or something?
Don't know, but he's doing.
He runs his own podcast too, doesn't he? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a podcast that's very good. Not as good as ours, but is very good.
Yeah.
If you're choosing between ours and his, I would choose ours. But
he does it with Brother Love, doesn't he?
Yeah, with Jim Cornette. No, Jim Cornette's not Brother Love. Oh my God, what's his name? Bruce Pritchard.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Jim Cornette.
There you go. Matt DeMeo's under it. Mortgage broker, runs his own mortgage company.
Thanks, Matt. Good assist there, mates. And somebody else has put that he does He is Akeem's illegitimate son. So he definitely looks like Akeem. I think one of the funniest things is if you ever see in certain collectors groups, somebody posts something Akeem for sale, all these random people just tag Conrad Thompson in it.
Poor fella.
All right. Anything else to add, boys?
No, not from me.
We're on world record pace at the moment. Let's head into what's online.
Nope.
Did you see what was online? What's online? Some bloke selling some LJN figures on eBay. What's he asking? He's asking too much. Well, did you make an offer? Make an offer. You can't make an offer. It's an auction. Well, just slide into his DMs. Maybe he wants to let them go for less. Maybe he's just trying to whet your appetite. Well, I don't know. We'll just make an offer. I can't make an offer. It's an auction. We'll just slide right in to the DMs. What else is online? Oh, there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff online.
Actually, you know what? I want to put a sneaky request out there. Now that I'm looking at these retros, if anyone has a Mean Gene retro loose mint that they want to sell, reach out to me. I'll be definitely keen to take it off your hands.
Top dollar.
Cheap. Anyway, that's my sneaky plug.
I'll tell you, $200.
No, thank you. Not worth it. I'll kick it off, boys. What's online? Now, I'm like you, Bradley. I'm on a bit of a card obsession at the moment, and I'm just constantly looking through online. There you go, online, and I found, and this struck me, and this may not be any of interest to you, Chris, but Brad Fittler over here was one of the best rugby league players. New South Wales Origin coach. What else is he? He's a commentator for Channel 9. So he's had a very illustrious career in the NRL community. And here is his rookie card, 1991 Stimroll rugby league card. Brad Fittler, PSA graded 9. Now I was surprised to see an Australian vintage card getting graded by PSA. I think it's the first one I've ever seen, but it looks unreal, and it's an awesome card. It's a Legends rookie card, so that was really cool. $750. I don't know about that. That's is what it is, but it looks awesome.
That's a year's salary for an NRL fan.
Hey, Brad Fittler is the reason I go for the Sydney Roosters. So,
Bradley,
you know that it's funny that card. I was recently in a card shop in the city in Perth, and they had the same branded card, but for cricket, and they had a Don Bradman card, Stimroll Don Bradman card, and it was Don Bradman well after his career had finished, and he was about 70 or 75 in the card. He looked horrendous. But it was absolutely mint, the card, like absolutely perfect. And I thought the same thing. I thought, there wouldn't be many other Don Bradman trading cards out there. Maybe I should just buy it for the $60, $70, have it graded, and see if it goes up a bit. The thing I like about the Stimroll cards is that they have the little spot for the autograph. Back in the day, players were approachable. And some of the footy cards, the AFL cards of the same vintage, are quite valuable. There's a Wayne Carey rookie card that's quite valuable.
Yeah. So, I remember back in the day, this is a trip down memory lane, right? I had a whole stack. Remember when you used to collect those sort of cards? I had that 91, whatever it was. I had a whole stack of them that I took to school with a big rubber band around it.
Yep.
And I remember I was showing my mate the cards, and my bus arrived. I was like, oh, shit. And then one of the kids kind of put on his bag and knocked them all out of my hand. And so I had to make a choice. Do I pick up my cards or do I miss the bus? So I had to pick up as many as I could. I was bawling my eyes out, running to the bus, and got on the bus and told my mum, and I was filthy. Anyway.
Good story, though. Gave you a good story.
I did.
I would have chosen to miss the bus, I tell you. I think
I know.
I did the same thing. I used to take the footy cards to school and wrap them up with a lucky band. And my mum, so I'll give you a good story. Hopefully I haven't told this one. I know you tell me off when I tell the same story twice. My mum used to let me have a lunch order on a Friday, and she'd give me like $5 and say, you just go to school, fill in the order on the bag and chuck it in the box, and you get your lunch. well, I reckon I went for about 3 months where I didn't order my lunch on a Friday and I kept the $5, didn't eat all day, and then on the walk home would stop at the newsagent and buy 2 packs of footy cards. Anyway, one day I played footy in the morning and my mum said, "Oh, we got to get a paper or something at the shop." And we walk into the same newsagent and the guy goes, my best customer. And I said, and my mum looks at me and goes, "What does he mean, your best customer?" He goes, he comes in here all the time buying footy cards. And like the jig was up. My mum was filthy. And sure enough, there was no footy cards or lunch orders for a while.
Very good. Next up from me, I found a Space Jam Upper Deck card. Never seen this before. So if anyone has any information on this series, let me know. But that looks really cool. That's a great card.
Yeah,
That'd be a
really
great
cool
card. That'd be a beautiful card to own. And when MJ no longer is here, like with all the the legend, the GOAT, and all those characters, like that's a legendary card. $495.
Yeah, cool
Not that
card to have
legendary.
signed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And now this next piece, Chris, I got this one for you. To fulfill your Tory Wilson obsession. I was just scrolling along vintage WWF, and I found Playboy magazine with Tory Wilson and Sable.
Yeah.
Now I Googled image. I just Googled this magazine. And the images. Yes, very very good.
So you on the cover of the Playboy, it says WWE Super Vixen Sable versus Tory. No ring, no ref, no clothes. Now, that's not too far off what was normal in the Attitude Era, but hands down, Tory's winning that fight. Tory is amazing. Very, very highly regarded. My favorite thing about Tory is when I did the virtual signing with Tory. And I said to her, "Do you have a favorite place in Australia?" And she had no idea what I said. She didn't understand a word that came out of my mouth. And I think she thought I said, "Do you have a favorite part of an Australian?" Because it just got awkward really quickly. And I was like, favorite place. But I do. The only female signed merch I have is a Tory 8x10.
There you go. There you go.
A lot of memories from my childhood right there.
Bradley,
what have you got for us?
I'll start here with the graded Jordan Mailata rookie ticket card.
Wow.
This is a kid I went to school with.
Cool.
I've known him pretty much my whole high school life. He keeps in contact with me every now and then. But yeah, this is his rookie card from 2018. This is number 268, which is his jersey number. There's, I think, 4 variations of this card. I've got 3. I'm missing a numbered 68 card. But yeah, this is a graded 10, which I guess you probably won't get often for his rookie card. So the price on it, though, is quite expensive. But, I mean, it's kind of cool to see a kid I grew up with had a graded card and it's going for that much money as well.
How's he going? So he's obviously in his 3rd season this year?
The Eagles are currently 6 wins and 0 losses, and he's played 5 of those games. Oh, sorry, he's played all 6, but he got injured in last week's game. So he was back this week, played yesterday, and they're actually, Philly seems to be on fire. So
what's his position?
He's an offensive lineman, so I'm pretty sure he plays right O-line or whatever it's called. Yeah. So for a bloke that's played NRL all his life, he's bloody doing heaps good. He's within the top 5 in America at the moment, I believe.
Wow! And how did he get into this?
He did like a talent program. So he played NRL for the Rabbitohs in the 20s, and then they kind of said, "You're too big. You need to lose weight." And he was at the minimal weight that he could lose for his fat and everything. So someone scouted him from overseas and said, "Look, do you want to try this?" And he went through the whole training regime and did it all, and he ended up getting drafted into the Philadelphia Eagles.
Awesome. And he'd be a multi-millionaire too, I imagine.
He is unbelievably packed with money at the moment, I believe. So
good on him.
I'm gonna have to reach out for a little bit more friendship.
because he's in the US, I could see an opportunity here for him to buy figs for us.
I don't know how well that's going to go down there, mate.
It's a good contact to have. It's like, oh, mate from high school. Hey, do you reckon you just head down to Walmart and just see if they've got any wrestlers?
Yeah, can you just go to Target and get the pre-orders that everyone's not getting? So yeah, thanks.
Yeah, who is an NFL superstar? Hey, mate, will you buy me figures, please?
Especially
awesome.
the girl ones.
Yeah,
all the Barbie dolls.
All right, and secondly, you have this very cool program.
Yes, so I think this is the first wrestling pay-per-view that was in Australia. Don't if anyone can correct me there. Yeah, it's the program from 2000 Nitro Thunder pay-per-view that was on, which I wasn't there for. I would have been 5 years old. So,
were you born then?
No, mate, I was definitely born. Don't you worry, I'm a 95 baby. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a program. It's also in the States, which they probably got shipped from over here at one stage, but it's not great condition. But I mean, if you're into programs of especially Australian pay-per-views, that's definitely something you'd want to look at getting.
Now, I don't remember. I remember in the year 2000 watching. I don't remember much from my early 20s. I've got to say, because partying had a lot to do with that. So I had no idea that this was in town, because I would love to have gone and seen it. But I remember before I used to go out clubbing with my mates, I'd sit with my old man and watch Saturday night Nitro or whatever it was. It was Monday night, but on TNT they used to play WCW, and I used to watch it with my old man before I went out, and it was a bit of a highlight of the weekend. So yeah, good. I had no idea they come to Australia.
No, I had no idea either. And when I heard people say there was touring shows in Perth, and my parents never took me to anything. Cheap asses.
You would have been 20 by then, wouldn't you?
Hey?
How old were you in year 2000?
I was 18. Probably could have taken myself. I did actually, in fairness, I did probably going through a phase, but 18 where I wasn't probably as into wrestling as I became. But one of the most disappointing days of my life was going to the US. I lived in the US for 2 years, and I worked in New York. And I finally got into New York City, and I went to go to WWE New York in Times Square, and it had closed down.
Yeah, it didn't last long, did it?
I got there, the signage was still there, and I walked it up, and all the front door was boarded up. And I thought, oh man, that's the only thing I wanted to go and see in the Times Square. And anyway, we ended up going to the ESPN bar, which was next door, and drinking and watching sports underage. So it was great. Hey, my what's online, mine's broken into 2 parts. There's my actual what's online, and then there's just a couple of really cool things I saw that I wanted to share. First one is this Greg the Hammer is a backup for sale. So the Rhythm and Blues, Greg the Hammer, it's been on a few different pages. Signed with the photo of him signing it, graded, hand-painted prototype, and I just think this is an absolutely cracking piece for anyone with lots of money. Don't know if it's sold or not, but it was listed for sale about a week ago. Also listed for sale by, I think, our mate Dennis Bushwald, a super rare Mr. Perfect Fun School figure. You can see how rare this Mr. Perfect is by the degeneration of the paint. So Fun School figures are rare enough as they are, but I can't remember seeing more than 1 or 2 of these ever. So, James, have you seen many of these around?
No, I've kind of stayed away from Fun School. They just don't do it for me. But I know there's a whole community of collectors, especially those in Europe, and they froth over it. They love the Fun Schools, which
do you reckon there's a factory in India that have like about 20,000 of them just sitting there waiting for somebody to find them?
Don't know. Like, you'd imagine, like, look at the shape of that Mr. Perfect. They all got wet. I don't know. They all look like they've been sitting in water for the last 40 years. And I considered buying a Rowdy Piper a few years ago just to add to my Piper collection. And the ones I was looking at going, mint on card, beautifully mint on card, and the card it was a quarter of a card. Do you know what I mean? I just think, God, I just can't. It doesn't do it for me.
Big Robert Vela in, I think Robert's in South Australia. it's sold. So the Greg the Hammer has already sold. Thanks, Robert, for the update. Crazy. I wonder how much it sold for. That's an exciting thing to find out. Now, I saw this on my local marketplace. The old stand-up NBA Jam arcade machine. I would love to have this. $3,000.
That's all right.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I think it might have been. Went a bit early there. Oh, what's going on here? $3,000. But for me, you can buy a gaming board now to do the same sort of thing for $300, and it plays 200 different 80s games.
Yeah.
So I understand the appeal, but you got to think if the system is 30 years old, how long is it going to last for? And are you paying $3,000 just to have that big? Like, it's a huge thing to have in your house.
Yeah. You need like a games room or a man cave or something like that for sure.
There's the new arcade. I think it's called Arcade 1-Up ones. They're doing a bunch of those. I think they go for like $2,000 brand new, more digital and smaller size as well.
Yeah.
So.
No, just
you can put them on a desk.
Public apology, Robert Vela. I know you're in Victoria. I'm sorry I said South Australia, and I really apologise because no one wants to be from South Australia. All right, so my online found these really cool collection of vintage cards.
Get on that, mate.
A lot of four. You got Hogan Warrior, Andre, and another Hogan for $99 US. That's a pretty good deal, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
All
great. Make an offer or?
No, it's just $99 buy it now, I think. So
yeah, I like them.
Second one was a Bobby the Brain Heenan Superstars Classics card, autographed and authenticated. So love that card. It's just classic Bobby Heenan with the auto, which you're not going to get anymore. Really, really cool. But when you look at the conversion US dollar to Aussie dollar, $640. Oh man, I can't justify that.
Yeah, the American dollar's just going through the roof.
And have a look at this one, James. Brad will probably know more about this young superstar. The Rock, autographed, authentic cards, 1998 Comic Images, number 15 Wrestling Superstars. I don't think that is his rookie card. I think the rookie card is the one that you tear out of the magazine.
But
that's not one.
But it
how much are you asking?
How much do you reckon?
$800.
I was going to say 2.5. 2.5.
They're asking $16,000. So
come on.
Don't think you're going to get that, but
we could do a segment on idiots around the world selling stuff at exorbitant prices. I saw here you go, Chris. You're going to hate this. There's a bloke in England. Don't know who it is. If you're a member of our group, give yourself an uppercut. He's selling 3 of those Hasbro flip cards. Like I think one's Warrior, one's Macho Man, and one's someone else. Bushwhackers. Guess how much?
$100 each.
Mate, $900 and something. Like ridiculous. Like,
you could buy a mint on card Hasbro with the card inside it, open the Hasbro and take the card out for less than that.
You could buy 2 of them. You could probably buy 3 of them.
Just on Hasbro's, before we move on to fig review, I'm just going to put this out there. I've noticed prices are starting to drop on common mint on card Hasbro. So not your vintage, not your graded, not your prototypes, but on standard, IRS or Mountie or Bushwhackers. I've seen some really, really good deals in the last probably 3 months. And today I saw one for $75 for a mint on card Hasbro. There was a point where you couldn't buy one for under 100.
Yeah.
And
who was the figure?
It was the Bushwhackers with the hats. It was a single card. So you can see.
Got to remember, you got to remember we are. Well, they're not saying it, but we're currently in a recession. So people that paid big time for those, collectibles, are probably going to have to get rid of them because things are getting a bit tighter. Yeah, you'll find a lot of the top cards have already been graded, and the top cards like 85s and 90s, they still go for pretty big money.
Yeah.
Anything under that, they're going for. Like you could probably pick up an 80 graded card for the same price that you would pay for a non-graded card.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so that's just very interesting. All right, so we move on to our fig review.
yes, that's it. Let's go.
It's time to review a fig from today or the past. Which will it be? Stay tuned to find out.
Before you start, James, we need a new stinger for that. So anyone out there can make us a better stinger than that. That is rubbish. I hate it. Sorry, David Sirianni, if you're watching. I know you put your work into these, but it doesn't match what we actually do anymore. So if you're out there and you want to do it for free, because I can't afford to pay, we don't have a sponsor anymore, and you want to come up with something that just introduces fig review in a
sexual way.
Non-sexual way. Please reach out. Somebody's got to have the talent. And you know what? I might even have a crack at it next week, and we'll make something that'll be completely shit. So,
righto. Give it a go, mate. Give it a go.
We're reviewing Jack's classics. James,
Series
what do we
2.
got?
Series 2. We've got Big John Studd, Sergeant Slaughter, Dude Love, Mankind, Ric Flair, and George the Animal Steel. So just to quickly reflect, guys, WWE Classic Superstars. This is where, after many, many years after the BCAs, bone crunching action figures, Jack's Pacific released these unbelievable figures that took the older generation by storm, and they could see their old school favorite wrestlers reincarnated into modern day figures. So it blew me away. It got me back into collecting back in 2003, I think. And this is a second series. So I personally had most of these. I didn't get Mankind or Dude Love. But the George Animal Steel come in a variant, one with the actual hair glued on and hair painted on. What else? I think there was a variation of Sergeant Slaughter from memory.
Big John Studd had a variant with weapons. One of them had a chair and one of them had a ring bell, I think.
There you go. Actually, speaking of the ring chairs, they were quite what's the word? Groundbreaking. They were quite good, those ring chairs back in the day. But by far for me, my favorite was Big John Studd. Whilst we're talking about him, I just thought the likeness of him, the size. Jack's definitely weren't in scale, but he was definitely in scale for the figure that he was. What about you guys?
I didn't like the Big John Studd or the Slaughter. I just felt like the body shapes didn't look quite right. For me, the best one there is the Flair. You got the robe, you got the belt, even though the belts are those crappy belts. But it just epitomizes Flair. I do also like the fact that there's a Mankind and a Dude Love. Like for as a kid, you think you could get 6 different people, but you put the same one in 2 different costumes. So doesn't make sense to me. But luckily, Jack's just kept churning out figures for a while. What do you reckon, Brad?
I do like the Flair out of that, but I probably would rather the Mankind if I was to get one of them all. It's just I don't know. The Mankind comes with the Mr. Socko as well with the. In that photo he's got tag titles. The other photo I'm looking at, he's got the hardcore title. So, I mean that's just a Jack's kind of thing that they did on the back. Whether it was going to be the same thing you get in hand or not, but that's what I prefer out of that.
And not to keep going back to WWE Most Wanted Treasures, but one of the episodes, Mankind does go back trying to find an original Socko. So pretty crazy to think that you can identify an original Socko from the your past.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy could have just put a sock and drawn his own face on it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
How would you authenticate that?
Well, it's funny because he saw it, and it was actually GWC Steve Moran, and he had one, and as soon as he saw it, he went, "Oh yeah, that's from this event at this place." Like he knew straight away where it was from.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow. What about? I've heard this on the major pod that I don't know names or who it was, but one of the dudes had Warrior's mask. The last, Warrior's last.
That was John Cone, the referee, I believe. That
didn't he
they
throw
were friends
that mask
with.
out?
he did something with it where he doesn't own it anymore. I do believe that's true.
Out. That's crazy. That is
on
crazy.
on the George the Animal though. I've never actually had this in hand. The one with the real hair.
Yeah.
Is it not sticky over time? Is like what's the go with it? Like
mine wasn't, but what the ones that were sticky, like Dude Love's shirt there.
the
That's all
shirt,
plastic.
yeah, the shirts, all the rubbers in it. I remember it always got sticky.
They went all sticky and gooey. But no, George Animal, no, it was fine.
Confirmation from Matt Tomato that he threw it away.
It's just it's ridiculous. But yeah, the George Animal Steel, real hair on a figure. Will that happen again? It
wasn't real hair, but it was
not real hair, but it was
yeah.
classified as like a real hair kind of situation.
Yeah.
Would they do that again? Like,
wasn't someone's pubes from Jack Pacific. It was just
it's very strange. You never know. It could be, but it's just it's kind of weird for a figure to have something like that. It's cool, but
there's a few of them. There's been a few of them. George Animal was one of them.
I do remember I had a Carlito. I can't remember what it would have been, a Ruthless Aggression maybe, and he had like the fur hair kind of situation. That was the closest I've ever gotten to something like that.
Well, the Hasbro going and has the steel wool.
Yeah.
But Giant Gonzalez had a variation where in the Classic Superstars, where he was actually a good figure, where it was just plastic, and then there was one that was released with actual fur.
Now, Jamesy, before we wrap up fig review and we go into Q&A, do we have any questions? Oh,
yes, we do.
Oh, here we go.
It's question time. It's question time. It's time to ask the boys a question. What's on your mind? Let us know and we will tell you the answer.
Here we go, boys. There's a couple of good questions here. So the first one's from Luke Young. Luke Young's tuning in right now. So thanks, Luke. Now you've got your third man, aka Bradley Perryman. Who is your favorite 3-man tag team?
Easy answer.
Demolition.
Yeah.
Demolition.
But can you take 3-man tag team and include a manager?
Why not?
So in that case, I was always a huge fan of Natural Disasters with Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
But I always looked at them and thought, there's no way anyone could actually beat these guys. Like, they're so much bigger than everybody else. Like, as a kid, the biggest kid always wins. So you look at these guys and just think they're not going to get beaten by anyone. Or LOD with Paul Ellering. There's some good 3-man tag teams out there.
Or Sonny.
Hey?
Oh, but they had draws.
LOD 2000.
Yeah. Poor bugger.
Didn't they play the angle where one of them was upset and they climbed up the stage? Remember that angle? One of the pay-per-views, I think it was Droz or whoever the other guy was, climbed up the stage and was going to jump off and kill himself.
Yeah. D'Lo Brown, he got him in a suplex or something, and paraplegic.
Yes, very sad that, mate.
Very early on in his career too.
Speaking of injuries, Brad, do you know anything about when Big E's going to be back?
I haven't heard. No.
Sure. Surprise at the Rumble.
There's rumors of possibly Rumble, as well as the likelihood of Cody Rhodes coming back at the same time. But I mean, with what Triple H is doing, there's a lot of what ifs for people missing at the moment. So he's bringing in all these old people to come back, but they've still got injuries, and it's going to be a wild ride coming in next year, I reckon.
Yeah, sounds good.
How's the WWE going? How's the WWE going since last year?
Honestly, way better.
Yeah, right.
Way better. I mean, we actually haven't spoken about it. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Well, he's not the Fiend anymore. We don't know yet. He's back.
He's back, baby.
It's an unbelievable return. But, I mean, on trio tag teams, you could count the Wyatt family as one with him, Luke Harper, and who was the last one? I've forgotten his name. Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan. They were a good trio. I wouldn't say they're the best. personally for me, back in my early days of watching, I really enjoyed Team Extreme, the Hardy Boys with Lita. I was an extreme kind of guy, but I mean,
You'd
it's
have, you'd,
unbelievable
you'd have
what
to
they're doing
throw.
these days.
You'd have to throw WCW, NWO, Hogan.
That would
Nash,
you'd have to say that's the best overall.
Hall. Yeah. But did they actually wrestle as a 3 tag team?
I'm pretty sure there have been matches with all three of them.
Okay. There you go.
But I wouldn't
Good
say
question.
that's what they basically did, yeah.
Good question. So do you think WWE is better now because Vince is no longer there and he's not controlling everything?
I personally would say yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Feedback on the comments is the same. Also, Robert Vela with the correction. Far out. We're off a bit tonight. It was Hawk that was going to throw himself off. He was upset and Droz pushed him off. But it was, from memory, he didn't actually push him off, but it made it look like he did.
Right.
So that was part of the angle. And it was against Austin and The Rock in a tag team match. So very cool. Any more questions, James?
Yes. Last but not least, this is from Gianni Italiano. If you had to call it quits on collecting, what would be the last thing you would keep?
Oh, Hogan graded 90 Hasbro.
Ooh.
And
It's
probably
actually-
my one of one James Thomas rookie card.
What's that?
I've got a special card made of you, mate, just to keep it by the bedside table.
He's probably got that little side piece waiting for the little kiss stamp just to give to you.
Yes.
Your kiss card.
Sample part.
Oh, the last thing. Oh, what would I think? Look, in all fairness, if I was to think of it as a money point of view, I would obviously keep my Chief J. But if I had to stop collecting, the last thing I would keep, it'd have to be something in my Rey Mysterio. If I could keep my whole Rey Mysterio collection and get rid of everything else, no worries. But I can't. Unfortunately, I can't single it down to a single figure.
Rey Mysterio, Silver Surfer.
Bingo, done, sorted.
Oh, mate.
What about you,
Mate,
James?
I would keep my Hasbro original concept drawings.
That's the last thing.
The last thing, yep.
Wow. I wouldn't have thought you'd choose that. I would have thought you'd just go to the protos.
Yeah, look, I think just the drawings are just, I don't know, they're special. When you see them in person and they're hanging on a wall, even though mine aren't, they're just, I don't know, they're good, great to look at.
No, very cool. And thanks for the questions to those people who
Yeah,
sent them
great
in.
question.
Better than last week. Now we've got the third man on the pod. Hey, we're getting towards the end of the show. We've had, we're right on peak time, 1 hour. It was spot on for our timings.
Perfect.
Very, very good. Hopefully people have enjoyed being at the normal time. For me, it's really early over here, so I've got to make dinner now. That's a bit strange. Anything more to add, James?
No, just thank you everyone for tuning in. Another entertaining show. Thoroughly enjoyed your company, boys.
Yeah, me too. It's been good to have Brad as well. I think he's providing pretty well to the pod. I'll give him some feedback in the post-show notes.
I just want to give a little shout out to anyone who's willing to go to watch a live wrestling show. Get out to your live wrestling shows. There's one this Friday for PWA, Pro Wrestling Australia, where they've actually got a cage match. So go out and watch that. We've got World Series Wrestling coming up in March next year around the East Coast. Matt Cardona, Brian Myers will be there, so more names to be added. I recommend getting your tickets. I think they go on sale tomorrow.
Let's put the pressure on Perth people to get a Perth show. So people, there was a post about it on the page, World Series Wrestling, and I said, Perth show, and then I think it was Steve said, well, no, they've not announced. But I would still expect they will announce more shows if they can find venues and guarantee ticket sales. So if there's money to be made, of course they're going to have more shows. But Perth's a strange place, mate. Not everybody wants to come here. It's
on the other side of the world.
It is. So, and also shout out to Russell Small, member of our group, had a bit of a tough time recently, and we're thinking of you, Russ, and hope everything's going okay.
Yeah, thinking of you, mate.
Go on.
Well, that wraps up the show, boys. Before we log off, please follow us on all our social media accounts: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And always use the hashtag The Hunt Never Ends. You know why, Bradley?
Mate, because the hunt, it never ends.
It never, ever bloody ends. Cheers, guys.
Two more pieces, and then I'll finish my
Two more.
collection.